they will all be turned to dust! Anyone tries to hurt my friends is gonna pay! This is the true power. Autonomous Ultra Instinct! You understand, don't you?
Okay, so not for nothing, this has to be one of the coolest things that I've seen in quite some time, introducing the return of Angel Goku and Mastered Ultra Ego Vegeta, and I've told people many times before, which I'm gonna go ahead and specify to go into further detail by elaborating in this video, that I am not done showcasing Angel Goku and Mastered Ultra Ego Vegeta, but of course we have them now for Sparking Zero, so huge shoutouts goes out to all of the people that I've been working with behind the scenes to get this done. Oh, okay, Black Frieza wants to smoke, huh? Alright, so let me go on ahead and show Frieza as to why he should not be messing with Angel Goku, but I've said this time and time again, especially to all those that are members of my Patreon, we will have the story of the top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse return, and for those that are already members of my Patreon, you guys know exactly when this story is going to be coming, you guys know exactly as to when this is going to be taking place, how things are going to be structured, and the reason why we are not done is because I am going to be the first person to implement and incorporate the elements of a Tournament of Power 2, and the way I'm going to be doing that is more or less going to be based off of a proxy that I left off towards the end of the first story that took place last August, so if you know, then you kind of already know as to where we're going with this, so I've already went as far as to make this very well clear that after the story of the Dark Masters, once the official sequel to the Merno story is finished, then we are going to be jumping straight into the top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse sequel, which I've always had planned for quite some time now, so I don't really understand as to how or why some people were questioning this, because I've made this very well known. Of course, I don't want to give away too many spoilers, or I don't want to go ahead and just kind of ruin all of the surprises that I have lined up in mind, so you guys aren't really going to get to know too much unless you're members of my Patreon, but what I will say is that once the story of the top 5 strongest return, we are going to be seeing the return of not only Angel Goku and of course Mastered Ultra Ego Vegeta, but of course Budo, Akuma, Yoshido, Takira, and as I've said many times before, the fallen resurrected gods of destruction, of course Primos and Reno and Cobras, and virtually everyone that I went on to showcase prior to this, Ultimate Beast Gohan, Mastered Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, Hakaishin Ultra Beerus, Ultra Ligor, so all I can really say to that is there is so much coming your way, so with that being said, let's go on ahead now and jump into the next fight that we have coming up next, because let me tell you, now that we've seen what Angel Goku is capable of and having to battle against Golden Cooler and Black Frieza, just wait until you see Mastered Ultra Ego Vegeta in action. I mean, come on now, just look at the way Vegeta looks right now, and of course he's going to be battling against none other than of course his teacher, and so what I will say is this, because a lot of people have been asking me about, well, is Vegeta going to be getting a new form in the upcoming story? Well, I'm not going to be telling you. Is Goku going to be getting some kind of an upgraded form in this upcoming sequel story? Well, I'm not going to be telling you, and right now I'm whooping Beerus' ass, so he ain't got no chance against me, but what I will say is that you can expect the unexpected, because this is really not going to go the way you think that it might go, because in the beginning I'm going to be establishing a bunch of things, and of course more importantly, as the story progresses, I need to kind of elaborate as to how things are going to be coming together, so the upcoming sequel story is going to be piecing together and tying in all of the other alternate realities and stories that you guys have been seeing me showcase on the channel before, because I need to kind of go on ahead and bridge that, you know? So more or less what I will say is that, yeah, you will be seeing Mastered Ultra Ego Vegeta in action against several characters. I'm not going to be telling you against who. It could be against some of the previously destroyed gods of destruction, maybe Primos, maybe of course Tigron, maybe Ultra Beerus. Not really going to be saying too much, and the same thing goes for Goku as well. So we've been working on all of these stories simultaneously, and I will be posting that story, and I will be beginning the story of the top 5 strongest sequel exclusively on Patreon first. So of course, if you guys want to be on the inside and see everything before anyone else, then Patreon is where you guys need to be. Which, not for nothing, look how poetic this was, because I immediately had to switch and having to see Vegeta fight his Master Beerus and now having to see Goku fight his Master Whis, which I will go as far as to confirm by saying yes, these parties are going to be back to the basics and having to train with each other in this upcoming story. But on top of this, I am also going to be including something a little different early on in the beginning involving Goku, Beerus, Vegeta, and Whis, and it's going to be done in a way where momentarily we're gonna have parties kind of switch for a little bit just to gain a better understanding of certain perspectives a little more, you know? But just in case if you just so happen to be curious if Goku and Vegeta are going to be training with Beerus and Whis, then the answer to those questions are going to be yes. However, their upcoming training sessions and methods are going to be portrayed a lot more differently than how we've seen them be showcased in the first story, and I will also say that it will be far more intense than how it was originally shown in the first story as well. So by no means are the training sessions for Vegeta, for Goku, by Beerus and Whis going to be easy by any means, because once of course they end up finding out about this Omniversal tournament, well, they need to start getting in shape and in shape fast, which they will. But of course I want to go on ahead and reserve a lot more of what I have planned for later on. So with that being said, now let's go on ahead and jump into the upcoming battle that we have coming up next, because let me tell you, if you guys thought that we were finished, then boy oh boy are you guys in for a treat, because I'm not going to spoil what I have coming, but what I will say and what I will end up giving you guys is at least one upcoming fight for the Tournament of Power 2. Alright, so check this out, right? Yes, what you're looking at right now is going to take place for the Omniversal Tournament of Power 2 within the top 5 strongest warriors in the Multiverse story, so you can expect to see Super Saiyan 4 Dragon Ball AF's version of Vegeta go head-to-head and go up against Mastered Ultra Ego Vegeta, so you can only expect for that to happen, as well as another fight involving Beerus versus Beerus. Yes, you heard that correctly, so without having to give too much away on the premise of how these fights are going to go down, the only thing that I'll go as far as to mention is that for the Beerus versus Beerus fight, it's going to be Beerus from the top 5 strongest story, which he's been lazy, he's been kind of very complacent throughout the entirety of that story to begin with, versus the Beerus that we've just seen train and work very hard in achieving his Ultra form during the story of the fallen resurrected gods of destruction. So you can only imagine as to how that's going to go in seeing one variation of Beerus go up against another, where it's one version where he was lazy and very complacent and very dull, versus another version of him where he was very serious and very focused and very committed. So you can ultimately expect to see that go down within that story. And yo, not for nothing, I can't take down Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. He's actually really difficult for me to like downplay right now, because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I originally thought that I was gonna take him down easy, but he's really trying to give me the hands. And you can only imagine, and I want you guys to let me know down below as to who would potentially win between a Dragon Ball AF variation of Vegeta versus Mastered Ultra Ego Vegeta. Yo, he's really trying to give me the hands. And I can't afford to lose this right now because, I mean, well, I'm playing as like the superior version of him. Okay, there we go. I was about to say, is he really about to beat me? You know what? Alright, so here comes Merno. Let me go on ahead and swap out here with Angel Goku. And I think that with the way we're going to structure the tournament, with the way we're going to structure the secondary and the third kind of like little subplots and sub-narratives going into the story is going to be really cool, I think, to begin with, because I don't think any of you guys are really going to expect to see what we have coming to actually unfold. So I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. Oh, wait, hold on. Merno really thinks that because he's immortal, he can actually trade blows with Angel Goku. Nah, not a chance. And by the way, if you guys want to go on ahead and download these mods, they're going to be made exclusively available on Patreon. So for those who do happen to mod and play Sparking Zero on PC, then on my Patreon is where you guys can go on ahead and find these mods. So of course, patreon.com/UnrealEntGaming. I will go on ahead and leave that link down below for you guys in case you guys want to go on ahead and download these for yourselves. Now, I will also go as far as to say that our characters from the upcoming sequel are going to be getting buffs as well. Again, I'm not going to say how, why, I'm not going to mention the structure behind how they're going to end up evolving, because there's a lot of copycats on here, so I'm trying to avoid any of that to begin with. I'm trying to avoid people trying to just, you know, blatantly copy and, replicate what we're doing here. So I want to try to kind of avoid giving away too much information. Jiren. Okay, and I know a lot of people are going to be asking, is Jiren going to be a part of it? Of course he will. I can't really tell you as to who he's going to end up fighting in this tournament, but I think you guys are going to be very excited. I think you guys are going to really enjoy seeing the premise of how all of this is going to unfold. But right now, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I think that with the way Angel Goku and MUE Vegeta are setting things up, and who knows, maybe I might end up giving you this fight, right? MUE Vegeta versus Jiren. How crazy would that be, right? So you can only imagine as to what we have cooking, and Jiren right now is really, hold on, wait a minute. Jiren thinks I'm the same Vegeta as I was before when he fought me. Hell no. Not today, we're not. And let me tell you, we have so much more coming your way, so you can only imagine as to what we're putting together and what we're working on behind the scenes, including motion mangas and many other things. So with that being said, let's go on ahead now and jump into the next fight that we have coming up next, because let me tell you, this is going to be a really, really good one. Now, to further clarify and give you guys more information as to what is to be expected for this upcoming story, once again, I've said this before, is that we are going to be showcasing the story of the Top 5 sequel once, of course, the Merno story is done. Damn, Frieza really wants me dead. And one thing that I will say is that the current Frieza from that Top 5 story, the one that Vegeta erased, will not be coming back. He was erased, and within that specific timeline, Frieza is not going to be seen. He's not going to be a thing unless we end up featuring a different variation of Black Frieza from, of course, another timeline, which we are going to do. So I'm just going to go on ahead and say that right off the gate before people think, oh, well, what about Frieza? Wasn't he erased by Vegeta? Of course he was, and I don't want to invalidate that, but once the upcoming tournament starts, we're going to be seeing a different variation of Black Frieza. He might be weaker, he might be stronger, who knows? I doubt that I'm going to make him stronger than how we've seen him go down and how we've seen him be portrayed in the original Top 5 story, but what I will say is don't be surprised if Vegeta ends up Hakkaiing him again, or if something else ends up taking place, right? So you can only expect for absolute madness to take place. And speaking of madness, we have baby Vegeta, which I'm going to be doing something with him as well in the upcoming TOP2. Okay, hold on. He really wants to trade blows with me here. He really thinks that he has what it takes. Oh, wait a minute. Did I mess up here? Oh, I think I did. Oh, wait a minute. I think I did. I think I messed up. Oh, no. Am I about? Yeah, I think, yeah, that was bad. Oh, that was bad. I self-destructed for no reason. Hold on. Okay, that was... I have to go on ahead and change that. Because again, I mean, these are only version 1 of the characters, right? So, I mean, with what we see with Vegeta and Angel Goku in this game, it's only version 1 of many versions that we're going to end up creating. Of course, different movesets. We're going to include different aura variations, things of that nature. So you can only expect better versions to come along once, of course, we end up getting those models. So not for nothing, I think this would be a really cool encounter as well, because with what I have planned for baby Vegeta in this upcoming tournament, it's going to be a little different, because it's not just going to be like your typical super baby Vegeta that we've seen in GT. It might be, but I'm thinking about actually doing something with him that I believe we should have seen go down within Dragon Ball GT as he fought against Super Saiyan 4 Goku. But on top of this, we have Wrathful Kale. The mods for this game have been insane. The only thing I'm actually waiting for is to see if people are going to be creating like different arenas and different maps, because I think that's desperately needed, or at least in my opinion. But Kale does not stand a chance. And in case you're kind of curious about that as well, yes, Kale, Caulifla, Kaba, Kefla, they're going to be featured in this upcoming tournament as well. It's going to be a little hard to kind of go as far as to like do a deep dive on and explain anything much further than what I have so far, because I don't want to reveal, any big spoilers. I don't want to reveal too much along the way that gives away too much of what I have planned. But I can only ever say for you guys to trust me on this, because what it is with everything that I have planned, I think you guys are really, really, really going to enjoy it. I think you guys are really going to have a great time with what we have coming out, and it's all because of you guys. It's all because of the Patreon members. It's all because of your support. And you know that great things take time. I'm doing this with a very, very, very small team. So I'm doing the best that I can with what I have in terms of resources to give you guys the best and most entertaining stories that I possibly can. Kale has no chance. If Kale thinks that by using her wrathful form here against me, is it going to work? Absolutely no chance. But what I will say is that, well, I don't want to give away any more fights. I don't know, maybe we might end up seeing Kale and Caulifla versus Goten and Trunks. Who knows? Again, I don't want to spoil too much, but I'm just gonna keep it at that. So with that being said, one more fight. We got one more entertaining fight coming your way. So with that being said, now let's go ahead and jump into the upcoming fight that we have lined up next, because let me tell you, I think you guys might want to tune in and listen very carefully on this one. So here's the deal, right? One thing that I will say is that for the story of the top 5 strongest originally, we never really saw the chance to have Beerus, you know, and Goku kind of go through with their original rematch, but I might, and again, this is just a big might, I might showcase that for the story of the top 5 strongest sequel in allowing for Goku and Beerus to finally have their rematch. And yeah, it might be a little one-sided because I think you guys already know as to who's gonna win, but I think that in and of itself is going to segue into something much more important, because of course Beerus is going to be very, very upset with what he ends up learning about Goku, with what he ends up learning, you know, from, you know, a few specific individuals that end up kind of arriving onto his planet. And of course, Whis is going to originally call for something, so by the end of it, Beerus is gonna go, alright, you know what? You know, be that as it may, I think our rematch is very long overdue. So what I will go as far as to confirm that no, we aren't going to see them fight in the TOP2. We're actually going to see them fight a lot sooner than before the actual tournament starts. So I'm just going to say bear that in mind. So with all that being said, I think this has been terrific. I have so many more mods coming your way. Of course, we are working on Hakaishin Ultra Beerus. Trying to get some of the other mods in here is going to be a little hard as well, such as Ligor, Tigron, Primos, you know, characters of that nature. But Jiren, like I've said before, he's going to be featured in several upcoming battles for the TOP2. He might end up being an ally to our heroes later on. I'm not going to give away too much here, but what I will say is that if you're expecting for Jiren to go up against Angel Goku, I think we can both kind of agree that Angel Goku would stomp him out. So I don't know, maybe I might feature Jiren against Primal Ultra Instinct Goku or something of the sort, you know what I mean? So who knows? But what I will say is that all of this is thanks to you guys. The mods, the stories that we're constructing and putting together, all of the motion mangas, all of the new art and soundtracks that we're putting together, everything is thanks to you guys over on Patreon, so I can't be indebted enough by saying thank you. And as soon as we clear out Jiren, what I think I might start doing is I want to see if we can actually create Ultimate Beast Gohan. I do have Mastered Legendary Super Saiyan Broly that's done, so I'm gonna go on ahead and feature him very soon. I just have to get like different versions of him done. Is Beerus next? I think he is, yeah. Okay, so Beerus is next. I think Beerus is our last opponent here because there's no chance, I think there's no chance that he's going to be able to take it against me, because I'm not going to lie to you guys, the fight between them is going to be very entertaining and a little funny, especially early on with how Beerus and Goku structure their rematch, and it's all going to be according to, you know, how Beerus wants things done. But with that being said, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys just so happen to be new to the channel, then I do encourage for you guys to head on over and smash that subscribe button. Give this video a big fat thumbs up by smashing that like button down below. Tune back in for more. And with all that being said, thank you all once more, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Take it easy, guys. Peace.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to UnrealEntGaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi.
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.